Making a movie is by no means an easy process. In any given production, meticulous directors and conscientious actors want the final product to be as good as it possibly can be, and that can often result in some scenes taking tens or even hundreds of takes to perfect. Actors can mess up their lines, the lighting might not be right, something could go wrong with the stunt, and all other problems can arise, especially when filming a particularly complex scene. However, sometimes even the most difficult to film and most memorable of scenes can be successfully performed in a single attempt. And that's what this video is all about. Here are 10 amazing movie scenes that were nailed on the first take.
Hi.
The Dark Knight. The late Heath Ledger famously won a posthumous Oscar for his role as the Joker in 2008's The Dark Knight, and this particular scene epitomizes exactly why. It's the scene in which the villain blows up the Gotham City hospital, and Ledger totally nailed it the first time, in spite of the fact that he encountered difficulties during the filming of it. Ledger was holding a device to activate the explosives that were to blow up the building, but they didn't go off as planned at first, so while remaining in character, he played with the device for a while until the explosives detonated, and that was the scene that made it into the final movie. Alien Resurrection. Alien Resurrection was pretty terrible. The fourth installment in the Alien franchise had very little going for it, but one particular scene was extremely memorable. It's the scene in which Sigourney Weaver's Ellen Ripley Clone 8 was able to score a basketball whilst facing away from the hoop, a shot with a success rate of about 1 in 6, and she did it in just one take. She trained with a pro basketball coach for 2 weeks prior to the shot, but director Jean-Pierre Jeunet still wanted to cheat by dropping the ball in the hoop from out of the shot. However, Weaver believed she could pull it off, and that's exactly what she did. And even Ron Perlman's genuinely shocked and out-of-character look couldn't stop the scene from making it to the final movie. Hunger. Hunger, a 2008 movie about the 1981 Irish hunger strike, starred Michael Fassbender as hunger striker Bobby Sands and Liam Cunningham as a priest named Father Dominic Moran. In the movie, there's a 15-minute discussion about the strike between the pair that only took one take to get right. Apparently, Cunningham moved in with Fassbender for several weeks and rehearsed the scene up to 15 times a day to perfect it, and the result was a very captivating and emotional scene that was accomplished brilliantly at first attempt. Poltergeist. The conclusion of 1982's classic horror movie Poltergeist saw the Freeling family's home implode and get sucked into a portal that had opened up in one of the bedrooms. In order to produce the scene, a 6-foot model scale of the home was constructed, which took 4 months of hard work. After brainstorming numerous methods of putting the shot into practice, the special effects team decided the best way to do it was by threading thick cables through the model and simply pull it into a funnel attached to a high-powered vacuum. They pulled it off in a single take. After the model destruction was completed, it then took 2 months of additional special effects work to perfect the final shot. Boogie Nights. The brilliant Boogie Nights tells the stories of a number of characters, and the film's opening shot goes straight from the opening title of the film to introducing several of them. It follows characters like Julianne Moore's Maggie, Burt Reynolds' Jack Horner, and Luis Guzman's Maurice Rodriguez into a lively and popular nightclub, circling and meandering through it seamlessly whilst introducing the rest of the cast. The framing, lighting, and timing had to be extremely precise, and it was, and astonishingly, it was nailed perfectly at the first attempt. Director Paul Thomas Anderson loves this kind of shot, and this is arguably his greatest example. Titanic. In James Cameron's epic 1997 romance disaster movie Titanic, after the ill-fated titular ship had crashed into the iceberg and started to sink, there was a memorable scene in which water crashed into the vessel's grand staircase room. Due to the fact the entire set and its furnishings were going to be destroyed in the scene in question, the filmmakers were only actually allowed a single opportunity to get it right. Thankfully, they totally nailed it, and the scene you see in the movie is indeed the one they were afforded.
Jesus Christ!
Children of Men. Children of Men is a 2006 movie about a dystopian future in which society is on the brink of collapse due to 2 decades of human infertility. It's set in a dog-eat-dog world in which chaos is the norm, and one such example of that chaos is when the main character's car is ambushed. It's a complicated scene that sees characters played by Clive Owen and Julianne Moore attacked by an armed gang. There's a burning car blocking their path, there's a motorcycle chase, there's a gunshot that kills Julianne Moore, and there's a violent exchange with a group of police officers, and it's all done in a single take. A splatter of blood on the camera lens threatened to ruin it, but director Alfonso Cuarón was convinced to keep it in the final movie by cinematographer Emmanuel Lubezki.
Why?
Primer. Trying to explain Primer in detail in such a short video would be impossible, but in a nutshell, it's essentially a movie about the accidental discovery of time travel. It's extremely convoluted and has a very experimental plot structure, which makes the fact that it was almost entirely filmed in a single take all the more impressive. The movie's budget was only $7,000, so its writer, director, and leading man Shane Carruth only had enough money to buy the right amount of celluloid to shoot it on. There was barely any room for error, and he successfully pulled it off. You have to give him props for doing so. Russian Ark. 2002's Russian Ark, a historical drama directed by Alexander Sokurov, goes one better than Primer, in the sense that the entire movie was filmed in a single take. You didn't mishear that. The entirety of this 96-minute movie was filmed in a single take. To put into perspective what an astonishing feat this was, this movie goes through 33 rooms of the Russian State Hermitage Museum it is set in. It contained more than 2,000 actors and it utilized 3 orchestras. While it wasn't a huge commercial success, it has understandably garnered widespread critical acclaim, and a documentary about its creation was made, called In One Breath, which is definitely worth checking out. 127 Hours. Danny Boyle's masterful 127 Hours tells the true story of Aaron Ralston, played by James Franco in the movie, who managed to get his arm trapped at the bottom of a remote canyon in Utah while he was out there hiking alone. After more than 5 days of being stuck, Ralston was forced to amputate his own arm using a blunt knife in order to escape and avoid inevitable early death. It was the most memorable and excruciating scene in the entire movie, and Franco pulled it off in a single take. The actor cut through a realistic prosthetic arm in the scene, which was expected to take around a day and a half, but it actually took him just 20 minutes. Thanks for watching our list of 10 amazing movie scenes that were nailed on the first take. Did you enjoy this video? Which other great scenes only took one attempt to nail? Have your say in the comments section below, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more great videos like this one.